What are some pros and cons to reverse cuckolding? Who the fuck comes up with these questions? What's going on, guys? It's Cimoooooooo. Now today I'm going to be bringing to you my monthly Q&A video for December 2016. First off, Happy New Year's to you guys. I know some of you it's probably already the new year, but here in the States, the clock hasn't struck midnight just yet. But for those of you, I just want to give a big Happy New Year's all around. 2016 was pretty good, but we're going to make 2017 even better. Now, for those of you who don't know what this series is, each month I give you guys, my subscribers, as well as my patrons over on Patreon, the opportunity to ask me questions, and then I'll answer all the ones that I think are either really good, really funny, whatever it may be, whether it's about life, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. So if you guys want your questions answered in the January 2017 Q&A, be sure to put them down in the comments below right now of this video, as this is the video I'm going to refer back to get those questions answered. And be sure to thumbs up the comments that you like that other people asked, so that I know which ones you guys really want me to answer. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with our patrons over on Patreon, we have the Noodle Monarch, aka Ramiro Avalos, asking, what did you eat for breakfast? Was it the most important meal of the day? And how fast is this break that you get right after waking up? So for breakfast, I actually had bacon grease pancakes. And if you've never had that before, you should really fucking try it because it's the greatest thing ever created in the existence of time. Asdrarios asks, how do you feel about the looming threat of Zodiacs taking over the meta? Do you think that the TCG will attempt to somehow soften the impact of this archetype's arrival by banning cards just before Raging Tempest is released, or will they let the game burn just to make a quick buck? Well, as we know from the past, Konami has let this game burn plenty of times just so they can make a quick buck, so I wouldn't be surprised. But our format's a little bit different. We have a lot more board clears than the OCG has. Mainly, we have 1 Regeki and 2 Dark Hole compared to their 0 Regeki, 1 Dark Hole. So, you know, they're also playing the Kaijus as well. We'd probably adapt that here. But they're needing to use cards like Forbidden Apocrypha, which isn't a terrible card, but if they had Regeki Dark Hole, they'd be using that instead because it's just better. I don't think they're going to hit it preemptively. I think once the deck makes its impact, that's when they're going to hit it. I've been wrong before, but honestly, we'll see. Adam Lindner asks, are there any rulings that the OCG uses that you wish the TCG used? Well, the first one off the top of my head I can think of is if a monster is summoned, it should still get its on-summon effect, even if it doesn't get a chance to, like, trigger because of the chain. So, for example, if, like, you MST my Call of the Haunted that's set face down, and I chain that Call of the Haunted, Chainlink 2 would special summon, let's say, Satellar Knight Deneb. So that Deneb would get special summoned to the field, and then MST would pop the Call of the Haunted, thereby popping the Deneb, sending it back to the graveyard. But in my opinion, the Deneb was summoned, so I feel like that effect should still trigger, because even though it died, and because of game mechanics, it didn't have an opportunity to activate, it should still activate because it was summoned. It met the requirement. It's just the fact that the way this game works, it doesn't, but the OCG thinks it should work that way. So that's something that I feel like we should have had that. I mean, I played Satellar Knights back in the day, so maybe I'm biased, but that's still just a mechanic I've always believed should be true. Philip Rosa asks, how old are you? What other games do you play, and will you make a YouTube for them? So I'm 22 years old. As for other games that I play stuff like Hearthstone, Overwatch, Modern Warfare Remastered because I loved Call of Duty 4. That was basically my religion growing up. That's really all I've been playing as of late. I mean, I'll play other just random games here and there. I used to be, like, really huge into gaming. Like, I was in, like, the Halo 3 and, like, all this other crazy shit. But that was, like, way back when I was younger. So gaming's kind of taken a back seat for the most part. But that's pretty much the games that I'm playing right now. As for a YouTube channel, I don't know. I've thought about maybe making, like, a secondary, like, gaming channel. Or, I mean, I could upload the stuff on this channel here, but I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that, if I should make a separate channel for something like that, or if you wouldn't mind if I integrated something like that, maybe like once a week or something. That's something, you know, it's kind of in the air. Nim asks, how big yo dick? Well, apparently Ramiro knows. How he knows, I have no fucking clue. I'm probably going to butcher this, and I feel bad because he always comments on my videos. It's either Air or Air-E. I'm going to go with Air because there's Air Neos. So Air asks, Monthly Q&A question. What was your first meta deck? That is actually a very good question. I want to say it was Gadget Monarchs. It could have maybe been Perfect Circle, but it was like one of the two. Like, arguably, like, Warrior Toolbox was like kind of a deck, but I don't really know if that counts. But I would say probably like Gadget Monarch or Perfect Circle, and that's why I love Monarchs, as you guys know from, you know, all the Monarch videos from the past. So that was when we got the new support. I was just like, oh my god, Monarchs are back. But yeah, so Perfect Circle and Gadget Monarch, like, those are probably like my first competitive decks. Alexandru Andros asks, is there going to be a YouTuber Grand Championship 2017? Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Aiden Frejo, or Freyhut, these names, man, they're gonna be the death of me, asks, favorite format / favorite deck? Quite frankly, I'm really a sucker for, like, the really older formats, like the goatish control style formats. Like, we were talking about stuff like, you know, Perfect Circle and Gadget Monarch, like, back in the day. I really loved the game back then because, you know, you don't die in 2 turns. Like, there was a lot of back and forth, and the moves you made actually, like, mattered and could actually have an impact on whether or not you win or lost a game. So I really liked that. I mean, the back and forth of it was really fun. But, I mean, as for a favorite deck, honestly, like, Destiny Hero Beatdown, and a lot of you aren't even gonna know what the fuck that deck is, but that deck was, like, so much fun. It was basically like Perfect Circle, like 2.0, I guess. I mean, it's not even Perfect Circle, really, because the Monarchs aren't really, like, a key component. But if you look up Destiny Hero Beatdown from, like, 2007 or 2006, something like that, you'll see what I'm talking about. The deck's a lot of fun, and if you can find a way to play it against someone who's playing, like, a similarly, like, skilled deck, then you'll get to see how much fun it is. Shaz P asked in an incredibly long question, essentially with the new anime coming out next year, what would I like the new summoning mechanic to have in terms of an effect on the game? Honestly, I want it to be fucking simple, but, like, really, really, really cool, if that makes, like, any sense. I know that's vague as shit, but, like, the thing I loved about Synchro is that, like, it was really easy to understand. You have a tuner and a non-tuner, you add up the stars, you make the monster. With Xyz, the monsters need to have the same number of stars, you put them over each other, you play the monster. Like, those mechanics to me were, like, very simple. And then when they got the pendulums, the problem with pendulum monsters, in my opinion, is that there's so much fucking card text that it's very, very, like, almost like not deteriorating. It's like, it acts as a deterrent for, like, any new players that want to learn how to play the game, because pendulum summoning's, like, the new thing, you know, so people want to learn about it. But then when they see, it's like 2 cards on 1 with the amount of text that these cards have. And I feel like if they make the cards simple, but, like, they have a lot of depth to them in terms of how they function, I feel that goes a much longer way than trying to make it, like, incredibly complex, but then also having depth to it. Because that way there's an easier barrier to entry, and then it's going to make the game a lot more fun for everyone, and it's going to be one of those situations where it's an easy-to-learn, hard-to-master type situation. Captain Barbosa asks, do you think Konami laughs when they short-print cards? Let's not forget about Necros of Brionac, shall we?
Voy a la playa, había subido la marea. Había subido la marea con triple paella.
The Reaper Derek asks, what is your favorite deck released in 2016? And wish me a happy new year, because tomorrow, which is today, the 31st, is also my birthday. So first off, happy fucking birthday. That's really cool that your birthday coincides with New Year's Eve. It's like you get fireworks for your birthday every year, so that's pretty fucking neat. Favorite deck released in 2016? You know, I would have to say Monarchs. Like, I would really have to say Monarchs. Like, there's Blue Eyes, which is really cool. I mean, you guys know I made like 50 deck profiles on Blue Eyes, so I really love Blue Eyes, but I really think my just deep-rooted love for Monarchs just has to win. I mean, the deck was just fucking crazy, and I loved it, and it made Tribute Summoning good again. Hashtag make Tribute Summoning good again, that's what I say. Manuel San Martin asks, are you going to the regional qualifier in Henderson, Nevada? Yes, I am, and for those of you who are also thinking about attending, I think it's on January 21st, or like January 17th, something like that. If you look it up, it's in Henderson. It's like I think it's like the 21st or something. Whatever it is, I'm gonna be there. White Knight Zero asks, what tips can you provide to those who want to become a YouTuber like yourself and others? Honestly, the biggest thing, well, I guess the two biggest things. The first one is consistency, because the way YouTube's algorithm kind of works is the more consistently you upload content, the more likely you're going to come up for people to view your content. So, and also, you know, it kind of just enables you to create more content, and if there's more content out there, then people can absorb it, find you, they get exposure, and then, you know, you're all set to go. You start building a following. But the second one is really do it if you love it. Like, if you can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, non-stop like I can, anyone who's met me in an event knows that, like, I can talk about this game for like 24 hours straight. So if you really truly love this game, then as long as you let that passion show through, that's what people are going to love. At least that's what I feel like why people are attracted to me. That and I say fuck a lot, but who knows. Dueling Duelist Drew, I like the alliteration there, asks, if you could eat a Yu-Gi-Oh card, what would you eat? Not the cardboard, but the character item itself. Hungry Burger, duh! Predator Magnus asks, what are some pros and cons to reverse cuckolding? Who the fuck comes up with these questions? You know, honestly, if you and your partner are comfortable with having a third person in your intimate sphere and you don't have any like jealousy issues or anything like that, and the three of you are comfortable with that sort of intimate triadic relationship, then you know what, by all means. I mean, that's probably not the type of relationship for everyone because humans are inherently jealous, but you know what, if you and your partner and your third person you're including are comfortable with that, then by all means, the more the merrier. So that's going to do it for this month's Q&A, guys. Again, Happy New Year's to you all. Hope you have a really fun time. And if you want to have the opportunity to have your questions answered in January's Q&A, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and thumbs up the comments that you want me to answer most, because I do pay attention to that. Thank you again so much for everything, you guys. It's been an awesome year. Be sure to like the video. As always, subscribe to the channel for more amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content, and be sure to back me on Patreon, because just by pledging that $1 a month, it goes a long way in investing in my ability to bring you some incredible Yu-Gi-Oh content. So thank you guys again so much. We'll see you next year.